All right, about to open the meeting of Scituate Board of Health, Monday, August 7th, 2017, Selectmen's Chambers, Town Hall, 6 p.m. We'll take a motion to accept the agenda and start the meeting. Call this meeting.
Make a motion to accept the agenda for Board of Health, Monday, August 7th, 2017.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, schedule items, discuss and vote, septic system design hearing for 87 Glades Road, Morse Engineering, representing homeowner, request for installation of a septic system requiring local upgrades and variances. So if you want to state your name.
Sure. So my name's Jeff Assett. I'm with Morse Engineering, and I'm with Doris Crary. Doris owns this property. The property is 87 Glades Road. It's about 3,000 square feet in size, the property itself, so it's a small lot. That includes a 10-foot right-of-way that's owned by the property. It is a well, in relation to the property, the footprint's relatively large. It takes up a large portion of the property, which doesn't leave a lot of room for the septic system itself. The building is a 4-unit building with a total of 8 bedrooms. So we're sizing the system for 8 bedrooms plus. They currently have a septic tank and a leaching pit that's failed. It's actually in failure. It's breaking out, so she's pumping it once a month. So what we are proposing is a tight tank here. We've looked at all sorts of different ways to fit a leaching field in, and there's really no way to fit it. We are considering the tight tank to be somewhat temporary. The long-term plan for the property would be to demolish the house and rebuild it. Building code for the floodplain would require it to be up on piles anyways, so that opens up this whole area for the leaching field. Right. So that's not going to happen in the next year or so anyways. So we think this is the best fix for a system that's breaking out, is we'll put in a 5,500 gallon tight tank. The tight tank is H20 rated, it's watertight, and it'll have an electrical system with a float on it, so that when the tank is 3/5 full, the alarm will go off, signalizing it to be pumped.
Okay.
In addition, there will be an operation and maintenance plan with a local pumper, so they'll be paid in advance to get it pumped.
Jen, what's the water table like right there next to the water?
Water table's high, which I believe they have.
About 5 feet down.
5 feet down?
Yeah, 62 inches. Yeah, we did do a test bid, we did do a park. It's great material, 2-minute park rate.
Just there's no room.
Exactly.
I've already spoken to Alltown, who's currently doing my pumping, and they'll go on the schedule, to take care of it.
So the variance is, the variance you're requesting is?
Yes, sorry. We're asking for a local upgrade to reduce the setback requirement to a property line for the tank. 10 feet is required, and we're proposing to reduce that to 5 feet and 8.6 feet.
And 6'8" to the right away.
Yeah, 6, 8, 5, and 8.5.
Yeah.
What's on this side of the property? Houses?
Yeah, there are houses here, number 90 Glades Road and 89 Glades Road.
And then I'm back here,
This
that's just the marsh?
is a garage behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your garage?
No, I wish it was, no.
And then
And then the marsh, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And you said with the alarms, if it goes off, is it the tenants hearing it, or does it go to a certain person?
It would be the tenants.
Okay.
Yep.
So they call and say, hey, the tank's full.
Yep.
Right.
Do you understand the tight tank?
Yeah, I know, I'm not happy about it, but it's not much I can do about it, so.
Until you reconstruct.
Right.
Right,
We talked
till
about
we-
before.
Either
And
elevate the house or
This has
or
nothing
tear
to
it
do with the
down.
approval, because I have no problem approving this with variances or whatever. It's what you gotta do. There's
Right.
nothing there. But, every drop of water used goes into that tank. So you wanna look at your toilets, if there's old toilets in there, you wanna,
I
upgrade
have
them, put a brick
already,
in them so you don't have to
yeah.
water. You want the water reducers
I
on the
have-
shower. I'm sure. if
We
you
do
went
that
over
anyway.
Yeah.
because
Right.
you would thought that was-
I have already replaced all the toilets. I'm down to the 1.5 gallon flushes.
Okay.
And I have no washing machines in the house, no dishwashers. I mean,
It's just
town
for your
sewer
benefit,
ever
that's
came
all I'm
out.
saying,
I
yeah.
hear you.
Yeah,
And I
encourage
even,
outside showering in the summer.
Right. well, I went on
Go in
the
water. Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
Scituate
use the ocean.
water department site to see what they had listed there, for water saving techniques, but it really doesn't apply to, you know, in-home usage. I mean, you know, there's a lot of things like shut the water off while you brush your teeth
You're right.
and turn it back on, same thing with a shower, all that, so.
And easier for a homeowner than it is for a tenant.
I know,
And,
I know,
That's
believe
another
me.
hard thing too.
That's
and
why
I
I'm here.
understand that too.
1,000 wipes went down,
Mhm.
more than 1,000, that said, do not dispose in septic system,
Yeah.
over
So
1,000
the
of
four
them.
tenants, four full tenants, four rented apartments, how often should it be pumped? 55 on an average, for average use, 5,500 gallon tank? If she rents all four, which they will be all rented, I'm assuming.
But they are at this time, I have no more than 2 in any apartment.
So we designed it for 500% the design flow, so that would be once every 5 days if every bedroom is using 110 gallons per day, which most don't.
Which isn't,
On average, I think general water use per person is, 40 to 60 gallons per day. We learned that during the drought last year.
Just so you're aware of the
Right.
pitfalls, I mean, this has got to be done from a health standpoint.
Oh, I understand,
Yeah, I
yeah.
remember the conversation about redoing the building and this and that.
Right.
and-
Well, and what I really feel bad is I have a tiny house here that's got one person in it, and all of this is the septic system for that house, which has a I think it's a 1,500 gallon tank. That one was done by Jennifer Sullivan and Neil Murphy when I bought the property, and I know it has that. And the tank is here, but, and the whole, and the D box and all that, so. I would have loved to have been able to work something between the two on a temporary basis, because this one, every time I've ever had it pumped, it has nothing in it, and the guy says.
And the problem is that's only a 2-bedroom system,
Right.
so we can't add 8
so
bedrooms to
Doc,
that.
pending the approval of this, what is your timetable?
For what, how soon I would do this?
Yep.
Oh, immediately. I was hoping it was going in July, but, I went ahead and pumped it again in July, because it wasn't, it wasn't
So
So
getting
you have
in.
somebody all set up, ready to go, basically?
So if everything
Yeah,
goes
having,
and going through all the other parts, then
right, we
get
still
going.
have to see conservation,
Right.
and that all has to clear, and,
Yeah, but we have filed with them, and I'm pretty sure the meeting's next week.
Okay. Were there some restrictions that when you saw the plans, was there anything?
So there were some basic comments and questions that I submitted to Morse Engineering on Saturday.
Task.
Yeah, on Saturday. I don't want to say that too loudly because it's not a normal occurrence to send comments on a Saturday, but I did send them on Saturday. Jeff and his team worked today to address those comments, and obviously between their effort today and the time of our meeting, I haven't had the ability to review them. But there was nothing that would, I think, in my opinion, nothing would prevent you from voting to approve this if you so chose, with the condition that all of the comments be addressed, that conservation is also in approval, on board for this. And then with the knowledge, which I know Doris already has, since Jeff mentioned it, an operation and maintenance plan, which would be filed with us, deed restriction filed with us, and recorded at the registry of deeds, for the tight tank. So all of the normal things that come with the
Okay.
tight tank and plan review.
So you're aware of all those?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Um,
And actually, the plan that you're looking at has addressed all those revisions. It's just we got it in at the end of the day, so Jen hasn't had a chance to look
Okay.
over it.
The other question is, you say you have the place full right now?
yeah, 6 people.
Okay, from our meeting the last time, wasn't everyone supposed to be out as of August 1st?
That was if, I didn't think, that's why we made the decision, and we've been trying to get this into you, to do that, or we were putting in the other system, which, I would do that, except for the fact that if I tear the structure down or anything like that, then that system wouldn't be considered any good. So,
Okay.
kind of stupid to spend all that money for nothing, I mean.
I guess my question, and you
They're all-
can help me, is if we go through and approve and all that and give a variance in that timetable, say it's 30 or 45 days or whatever, with what's going on right now with a full house, are we gonna run into situations?
Should be a one-day install, maybe two.
One
Oh,
day.
it's a one-day,
Yeah.
yeah,
What-
that's what I was told.
2 days tops.
8 o'clock in the
Okay.
morning and tank is back in,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
Yeah,
the tenants are aware of it.
they'll pump the existing tank so that the flow can continue to go to this tank. And then in the meantime, during that day, they'll install this system and then hook it up.
Okay,
It's a day, day and a half of work.
all right. Is there anyone else in the audience?
Hi.
If you want to state your name and address, or,
Sharing the mic.
yeah.
Hi, I'm Mary Teagan. I'm one of the owners at 9189 Glades Road, right next to the property.
Oh, okay.
These two here.
Yeah, I have the,
This side,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
this side.
John and
So I have a couple of questions about the plan. We received it in the mail, so I'd
Okay.
like to just address those, and some of you have already addressed those. The first one is probably a no deal, is that, you know, what is the possibility of moving it to the 10-foot mark? Where's the tank on? So for instance, this is our fence and our garage, and, you know, the property line is so tight here.
Mhm.
You can even see how this sort of goes over a little,
Right.
you know, back in the day. And the garage is right here, which we use. And this is the 8.6. So I was just wondering if it could be, you know, slide down a foot and a half, you know, to make it the 10
On that
feet.
side.
Yeah, slide it towards the right of way.
So basically, she's saying to move this probably to 4 something and make this the 10
Yeah, so
on
you-
that side,
Yeah,
right?
so you'd
See,
be,
it's,
you'd be at 5.2 on the right-of-way side to make it
Yeah.
10 on this side.
Yeah.
That's her question.
It's gonna get even closer
yeah,
to
but
the
it's
right
gonna
way.
get closer to the right away too, because
Right.
that 5 feet's gonna, because it's at an angle at the kitty corner and.
The fence is a couple, probably 3 feet off of the property line itself too, so this tank won't have any impact on this property. It's a contained system, it'd just be, the only real disturbance is a temporary disturbance of installing that, and that won't go onto her property.
Is that 5 feet here?
It is, yeah.
Does that make sense, Dave?
So it's, I mean, it's a large tank. It's
It
six-
does, but then the next question will sort of answer why I'm asking that question. Okay, so I'm concerned about the depth of the tank at 16 feet. So when you're digging to the 16-foot depth, what about the stability of, you know, the dig that you're doing and the fence? And we have a new concrete footing, which is beyond where you're planting the tank. But
So you're saying like out back here, maybe?
the new concrete wall begins here. Like, it looks like it's a big space, but it's small, you know what I mean? And then our fence goes right along the property line. There's really there's no 3 foot. Everything is, you know, tight. Like, this is a tight lot. You know, back in the day, these
Right.
were little shops. They weren't,
Homes.
they weren't homes. So, you know, that's why they're probably so tight together. But, so our fence really goes right along the property line. And then we have a new concrete wall, which was just repaired last year, and we have new concrete footings for the fence that runs along this stretch. So,
So your question is, by
will the
digging-
dig, you know,
Disrupt.
the 16-foot dig, which we know it's a high water table.
Right.
Water comes up from the marsh anyway. I'm just worried about the
Well,
cave-in,
collapsing.
you know, that kind of thing. So I am concerned about that.
I think the design, not the design, the installing people will be concerned too, because they don't want to do damage to your property. So I don't know if they'll put a temporary
Mm-hmm.
wall in to dig that out and then remove it when they're done. I don't know how they'll do it.
There-
But
there are
they
measure-
definitely don't
yeah.
want to damage a garage or
Sorry.
fences or anything, because they know they'll be responsible for it.
Yeah. There are measures they can take, and they're actually on the other side of your leaching pit too, the existing leaching pit where they're digging. So right now, the septic system is about right on the property line here.
Right.
They'll probably dig it back this way, and they will have to be responsible to make sure they don't have any caving in coming towards your
It
property.
will come that way?
Well, they'll be digging this side.
Yep.
Not
Of,
over
of,
here.
of
Oh,
the
right,
existing pit.
okay.
Come in with a machine this way and
It-
dig
Okay,
that.
excavate.
In the
So
tank,
they're not gonna go where the tank is.
They're not,
right
you're
now.
right, they're not gonna
Yeah.
be on that side.
And
The
the
only
ta-
thing they'll do after is just make clear or whatever to fill it.
yeah, they'll take the cover off and fill it.
Right.
And the tank is 16 and a half feet long. It's about 10 feet deep.
It's not 16 feet deep, it's just for the
16
exit.
feet, 16 and a half feet long.
So this
Oh.
way is 16 and a half,
So
Yeah.
and then it
what's,
goes deep,
oh, I see,
Yeah.
so it's only 6 feet deep? Or I misread?
10 feet deep.
10 feet deep.
and
okay.
16 feet is the size of it.
So Jeff-
Okay,
Jeff,
gotcha.
can you walk her through, so it's, correct me, so it's 9.7 deep
Yep.
plus 12 inches of cover, so it's gonna be, 10 foot, 7 inches from the bottom of the tank to the top of the gravel. So it won't be quite as deep
Right,
as.
okay,
as
so
you
yeah,
did
I was
the
thinking
16.
16 feet.
Yeah, you're
I was-
saying 16 wide,
Yeah,
so
that
we'll
was-
start here and go over.
Okay, all right,
And it'll be flush with the ground too, so once it's installed and Mother Nature does her thing, you'll really never know it's there unless
Right.
there's no mounding, there's no,
right.
right, so we'll have
Okay,
it-
so then I'm concerned about
theoretically, you
the
shouldn't need
alarm,
it.
Yep.
okay? I was wondering where the alarm would sound, at the site of the tank, or will it be audible, will, you know, is
It's-
it?
Yeah, sorry.
Because they're renters, and they're not always there, so if they have an alarm going off all day long,
Right.
It's audible and visual, and it has to be inside of the building. So if they're home,
is it gonna be
they'll call.
loud?
It's loud enough that they will call Doris to have it pumped.
What if they're not there?
If nobody's home, then there wouldn't be any water flow, so it wouldn't go off.
So
Can we give you
basically-
Doris's phone number, maybe?
So it's only
If you ever hear it
got-
going off, you
Yeah,
could
that would
call
be
her.
probably
Right.
good.
So
yeah.
what you're saying is, no one's in the house right now, it won't go off, but if someone came home, flushed the toilet, and washed, the sink or whatever, then
Threshold, right.
Right.
it would,
I think that's a good
Yeah.
neighbor policy though, because if there's a
Right.
leaky faucet or something, or a toilet
Right.
happens to stick, which you don't want, but.
Oh, you know I don't
Yeah.
want
And I
that.
got you on that one. But if it so be, as a good neighbor,
Mhm.
someone.
Doris, your alarm's going off, you know?
I have my
Okay.
plumber going in, and I am telling him, when you go in, no rain head, shower heads. We put in the water savers.
Yeah.
They go as a tenant and put in a rain head, uses 10 times the water that that the others use.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm gonna have them confiscated, because they have no right to put them in.
And you can always, if for whatever reason, the communication here
Mhm.
doesn't work out, you're always welcome to call us. I mean, we have the ability to reach out to Doris too, so if you
Okay.
want to call us and say, hey,
And I
alarm's
use
going
Alltown
off.
Plumbing, which I've been using for more than, and Kevin at Alltown, I mean, if you got a phone call from him, I mean, he would come and he's been
Kevin's
pumping,
good, I know Kevin.
yeah, and he's been pumping our systems for 10 years, I mean, everywhere, so,
So you can always call us and, we would
And
do
I
our
can
very
give you
best to
Kevin's
reach out
name
to
and-
Doris
Okay.
as
you
well.
can give me your name, so
Okay.
I don't mind a
That's
backup
good-
plan.
That's a good
In
neighbor.
case all else fails, I mean, I certainly, I don't have a problem with that. so.
Okay, and I just have one more question. How will the pre-construction conditions be determined, like along the fence and the wall and all that? Like, will there be photographs taken of the property line so that if something crumbles,
Something does happen.
that it would, because it says it will be repaired, number 7 on the.
Have you guys staked out the property line?
Have we staked it yet? I don't think we've staked
I
it
don't
yet,
know we
but,
have, I would say
Is that a
probably
condition for
wait until you,
reconstruction?
yeah, there's actually a note on the plan here saying property line to be staked prior to construction.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't
the
typically
day
take
before is good.
photographs, but we can.
I think that
Alright.
would be more your
And
responsibility.
you
but
To
can,
take-
yeah, Mary, you can take the photos as well.
Yeah.
Okay, and then would,
Just to clarify for Jeff, she's referring to construction note number 7.
Oh,
That's where
okay.
the question comes from.
right.
Yeah, that's referring to the area where the tight tank is going in. Once they dig the hole, they put the tank in and they backfill it.
Right.
That note is to restore it to the surface that's
well,
there
and,
now.
and my system over here, it has been graded down with frequent plowing to the point that they've exposed my tank. I think you've probably
Mhm.
seen it when you're up there. I want to bring that all the way up. We used to just step out of the house. There were no steps to go into 85 or 87. And I know the elevation is on the original plan for when we did that, so that's going to be brought up. And it may appear to be higher than what's in the back, but it isn't. That is the elevation. And I want to make sure that this one, is protected, because it's got a leaching field up here too, so.
And that
Okay,
note's
so
more
I've
saying.
read that to be not just the site, but
Anything
anything
like
along,
your
along the,
walls.
yeah,
Yeah,
so,
well, they shouldn't be really going onto your property at all unless.
right,
like,
no,
they-
not, I'm just
It's
saying
more
like,
They
concerned
can't,
when
that's
they
got an
dig.
8-foot high
if they do
fence.
the dig and it's, 16 feet by 10 or whatever the,
Sure.
the thing is, and it's a high water table and things start to come in, whatever, and the fence starts to come down, I
Yeah.
want
I
it
mean,
repaired.
Yeah.
And I want it, I'd like to have that, I'd like to have
Mary, I'd
that.
like to think that these guys are professionals, and I like to think that Morse Engineering professionals and whomever's going to do the digging professionals, so I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope that doesn't happen, and I understand, believe me, I understand where you're coming from.
Oh, legitimate concerns,
But-
absolutely.
But, yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but, maybe we cross that bridge if it does, God forbid.
Well, I'd like to have it in writing ahead of time.
Right.
Well, what we will do is we'll stake out the property line ahead of time. The contractor should not go over that property line for any reason.
No, I'm not thinking they're gonna
stockpile,
come over, I'm just
but no,
worried
you-
about,
Right, it's gonna cave in.
because there's a
Right.
deck, we have a
But-
deck, and we have a fence.
But do take photographs.
Okay.
Yeah, for your own
It
protection, I would.
covers
think.
yourself.
Both,
but I-
both sides?
I don't anticipate any issues here, but you certainly take
Should I
photographs.
take both sides?
Sure. Yeah.
Doris, is that all right with you from your side?
That's fine.
Okay,
Okay. All right,
and that's your protection.
No, that's legit. What you got is what you got, and you wanna have it
Okay.
when the project's finished. And the good thing about this is God forbid if something happens on your property and you're working with your neighbor, then
right,
hopefully it's the
right,
same respects.
absolutely. We
That-
all have, we all have to deal with the old
It's a
septic
tight
systems.
community, so you gotta work with
So
each
close
other.
to each
Yeah.
other, too.
Right, and I understand, totally understand, because we have to deal with that, protect those septic systems.
Yeah, yeah, so,
And the houses
awesome.
were built those days so you could reach out to your neighbor and grab a sugar when you need it.
Right. Okay, so,
No other questions?
no other questions?
Anyone else? All set, okay.
Okay, is that good?
You wanna make a motion?
Thank you.
Make them,
Uh, Oh.
uh, Move to approve the septic repair plan with the following variance requested: reduction in the required setback between the tank and property line from 10 feet to 8.6 feet, 6.8, and 5 feet. Pending approval of the Conservation Commission engineer, satisfactory revisions to the plan to address Board of Health review comments. The system needs to be installed and certificate of compliance issued within so many days of the meeting. Didn't really talk about that, but
When is the conservation meeting?
He said next week.
I think it's next week.
I would recommend 45.
45 days. Are you comfortable with that, 45 days?
Yeah, so
You
long as
wanna
all
go
the
quicker.
well, so long as all the permits and everything come through, and then I have to get in the cycle with the,
Conservation does have a 21-day appeal period.
right, so that we can't do anything, so even though, so we lose the first 30 days with just conservation, because that's next week, and
So it'd be
then it's the
45
20
days after the 21-day appeal
You want to
period?
say 60?
No,
Um,
45 days after the Concom meeting.
After the meeting, so they could lose 21 days.
They could, but
I don't think
Well,
it's
we
gonna
can't,
happen.
no, you don't understand, the way it works is you can't do anything until those 21 days are up.
Right, so what
So it's a
they're,
total of 28 days.
well, what they're saying is, 45 days from
Conservation approval.
conservation approval, so that gives
Oh, okay, so that's,
so it gives the 21 days plus an additional, if my math is right, 24 days.
Yep.
So another 3 weeks on top of the approval.
right, you sound like you're ready to go anyway, so
Yeah.
as soon as that.
We just gotta make sure we got
Well,
it
I-
there, you change your
as a
mind.
person who's been involved in a few construction projects, I
Mary,
just want to
thank you.
say to
Thank you,
you
Mary.
Thank you.
that if there's any way you could make that 60 days so that I just know we can't do anything for the next 28 days.
Yeah, I mean.
No matter what I want to do, you
The
know?
only, the only thing.
I'm pumping.
The only thing I have a problem with, and I mean, there's other two people here.
I just
is
like 30 days to get it
we've-
all in.
We've dragged.
I understand that.
I mean, this thing has been in failure since 2011,
One.
2001.
No,
We had the meeting in April, everything was supposed to be out in August, I mean, and then now you're gonna want, if we give you 60 days, now we're getting into October, November, and you get the,
Well, no, I'm
Weather.
saying
Weather.
60 days to get it in and installed. I mean, I'm not
Right.
saying 60 days to start it. I'm concerned.
no, I know, well, no, this
And,
days that we give you, it's complete.
So,
Right.
so Doris, if I'm understanding
I'm just
correct-
asking 30 days
Right.
after the approval, in case something goes wrong, they don't have a 55-gallon tank in stock. Been there on that with the gas tanks, and I can go down the road.
So
Just
you're
that.
asking for 60 days from this day,
Correct,
so instead of, 40, so
60 days
from
today?
today,
right,
yeah.
right.
Well,
Or,
Which
I-
gives, which
I-
gives her,
It's
which
been-
gives her
I think
1
that's
month
similar
to
to
deal
what
with
they're asking.
conservation,
So they-
and
they
then
say
an additional
45
month to get it
conservation
in.
approval.
right,
So that starts next week.
right, fine. If you give me 30 days after Concom, I'm okay. It's just that 15 days.
Well, 45 days from conservation
We'll go
approval.
six
so-
days.
60's fine. Let's
All right,
take
so
it.
then the end of the motion will be, the system needs to be installed and certificate of compliance issued within 60 days of this meeting, which is held on August 7th, 2017.
Okay.
So, you're
October
good with
7th.
that?
Day after my wedding anniversary, I can remember that day.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so there you go. Now you got your deadline.
Okay.
Have your ducks in a row.
Thank you.
And Jeff,
Thank you.
I'll work with you between now and conservation to get this piece squared away, the comments that you sent me, or
Okay.
the vision you sent me today.
Okay, great.
And
Thank you.
I don't know if she got your number, but as a good neighbor,
Right.
give her a call.
Right.
Leave it in the
That was
door.
nice.
Yeah, maybe, probably good idea when somebody else has your number. Or at least she knows she can all call all the time. Or something.
And it's unlikely you'll see many revisions to this plan before it gets installed, so you can give this to a contractor and
Okay.
line them up for 3 weeks out,
Okay. 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Yeah.
Get your ducks in a row. That way you can order the tank and
I
not
was just
have
gonna
that.
say, so there'd be no excuse of the 55.
I was gonna say, if something changes with conservation, and this is beyond our scope, I think the tank size is gonna stay the same, all that stuff is gonna stay the same. So, yeah, I would say the contractor would be pretty darn close to a good bid on that.
Yeah.
Especially
Bless
with
you.
everything and doing your thing.
I went through it on another project, it delayed the whole thing.
Yeah.
I ended up having to put in, instead of 1 2,000-gallon tank, 2 1,000-gallon tanks.
Yeah.
So,
All righty,
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doris, thank you.
see ya. Have a good night.
Yeah.
New business, director's report.
Okay. Yes, thank you. So, a lot going on, as you can imagine, since the last regularly scheduled meeting that we had. We'll start with Heritage Days, since that was the most recent thing. We had 20 permitted food vendors at the event and conducted 22 inspections, which includes 2 bake sales that were exempt from permitting, but we still conducted inspections to make sure that they met the bake sale requirements. So all in all, from what I hear from everyone, Heritage Days was a success. From our point of view, the inspections went well, and we had a pretty smooth Saturday. Camp season in Scituate has officially ended. Our lone camp had their last day on Friday. Conducted a couple of inspections throughout the camp season, and their camp director was fantastic to work with. Beaches, we are sampling tomorrow. A little nervous about the rain that we're allegedly going to get, since stormwater can be problematic for beaches and has been problematic up and down Boston and the South Shore this year. So our fingers are crossed. We'll see what we get on Wednesday, and if for whatever reason results aren't good on Wednesday, we'll continue to sample until we get
Back
beaches back open. Housing cases, we have 10 current housing cases, 1 new since my last report to you. As you know, I am the co-chair for the Scituate Hoarding Response Team. We submitted our year-end report to Mass Housing last week, and we also submitted our response to Mass Housing's request for proposals for the upcoming/current fiscal year. So we'll see if we receive any funding for hopefully the 4th year in a row. We have 4 active nuisance cases, none new since the last time I reported to you. We still continue to track 6 environmental releases. Septic, I know I say this and sound like a broken record, but septic is quite busy. We have 4 new plans in the queue waiting to be reviewed. That does include the shared system at 90 and Vinyl, that subdivision in Curtis Estates. We have 2 revised plans for review. I have 4 certificates of compliance. They're reviewing as-built. I have sent comments and awaiting engineer response or revision on an additional 9 plans. We have 2 operations and maintenance field failures that we're following up with, and we have 7 property owners that we are trying to work with to get them to reinstate outstanding maintenance contracts. We have 2 new septic complaints currently being inspected, and we have 12 systems in known failure that we're working on.
And the 2 that are complaints, are they systems with effluent coming out on the ground? Is it?
One was
Odor.
an odor/discharge complaint. I've already been there. Haven't been able to identify a source. There's no obvious sign of failure. There's no discharge. There's no ponding. There's no bright green grass over where the system is. So that one I feel comfortable on. Another one was just received, so
Haven't had a chance.
right, I have to go out there and see what that one's, what's happening out there. Food inspections, so non-heritage days.
I check on those 2, and I'm sorry to interrupt
That's
you.
okay.
You might have been having their septic system pumped.
Yeah, yeah. And we get we have been pretty good with most contractors getting us their pumping records, so we do check. But the recent complaint we received was one that the complainant said has been going on for a while.
Oh, well then.
So
that
not
negates
a
that.
one-day thing, so we'll try to check the history, see where it is, how old it is, and if there are any signs of failure. For food, so I have the food inspection results from July 19th through the 26th. There were 26 food inspections conducted, including only 2 re-inspections, which is tremendous improvement, and several inspections at the farmer's market. The critical violations include coolers not holding the required temperature, no sanitizer being used, dishwashers not sanitizing, and bare hand contact with ready-to-eat foods. So a marked improvement from the last couple of reports that I have given to you. So, we're much improved over the last couple of reports. So hopefully that trend will continue, and we can continue to have positive inspections and everybody to be doing a good job. One more thing which I didn't write down, but Joan can help me where I make a mistake. Scituate is again hosting Dana-Farber's mammogram ban for screenings. We're starting the advertising process. It's up on the town website. It's up on the Board of Health website. Posters are starting to pop up around town. It is on a Thursday, September 12th, am I right? Yes. September 12th, from I believe 7:30 in the morning until 3 o'clock-ish that afternoon. So it's one of those things where women are encouraged to sign up in advance. It is a very easy sign-up process, calling the folks at Dana-Farber, providing any insurance information, and picking your preferred time slot. And it is that simple. It's generally 45 minutes from the time you arrive to check in, go through the process, and check back out. Our goal and hope is that we can again provide screening level mammograms for folks who are due, and give them a step up that, they don't have to go to their doctor in Boston for it and get the process rolling. So it's going to be, so they bring their big mobile van, and it's gonna be at St. Luke's again, who has graciously agreed to allow us to host there again.
Good. Old business? None. Other business, administrative invoices approvals, meeting minutes approval.
So we don't have any meeting minutes for you, but we do have a couple of invoices for approval. Pass them along.
That's an old one.
You like that one so much you signed it twice?
Someone's trying to steal my signature.
Thank you.
Those are sold drinks.
He's a busy guy.
All right. Make a motion to close the meeting on Monday, August 7th.
I make the motion to adjourn the meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.